What is happening, you guys? Today I'm going to be talking about Scream 4, directed by Wes Craven. But starting off with this video, as you can tell, this is the same view as when I do my reactions, and that is because I'm going to change my movie reviews and so on when I talk in front of my posters. I'm going to be doing that over here now because I just realized that it isn't like too appealing with the glaring of the light. I don't have the sweetest technology in the world, so I'm just using what I got. And in my opinion, I think this might be the best that, it looks right now. With just me and no glare. So, yeah, anyway, we're talking about Scream 4 today, directed by Wes Craven. And it's starring the big three, as I like to call it, with Neve, Campbell, David Arquette, Courteney Cox for the fourth time. And we got some new upcoming stars with Emma Roberts, Hayden Panettiere, and Rory Culkin. And let me just say this. This movie, I think, probably saved the franchise a bit because I didn't really like the third one. I don't think much people did. And with Scream 4, there's a lot of mixed opinions and views on it. But for myself, I liked it a lot. And this movie takes place 15 years after the original killings in Scream 1 and 10 years after Scream 3. But this is the first time in 10 years Sydney has been in Woodsboro. And what do you know? The killings start happening again. We see Sydney returning to Woodsboro, but this time she's promoting a new book of her own, and she's showing it off to the world. And I'm not sure if it exaggerated on what the book was about. I think it was more of a coping mechanism that she started with herself of coping with all the deaths that happen in her life. And now she's pretty much a famous person around the world. And let me just start off with this. She is such a high note in this movie. First off, Neve Campbell, she is so beautiful. And she brings that beauty and toughness into this movie with her. And it's almost like she's not even afraid of Ghostface anymore. She'll stand up to him like nobody's business. And we also have Dewey and Gail. They're returning as well. And Dewey and Gail are married. And as we've seen in the third one, Dewey proposed to her. And, it happened. And we got Dewey as a sheriff again. And also, what do you know? Ghostface is on the loose again. And absolutely no one knows who it is. A thing I've always mentioned in my Scream reviews is Scream has always poked fun at the horror cliche franchise. In the first movie, they poked fun at horror movies in general. In the second movie, they poked fun at sequels. In the third movie, they poked fun at trilogies. And in this movie, they poke fun at remakes or reboots, whatever you want to call it. And they do an excellent job at it. A thing I love so much about this film is they had such good kills compared to the others. Especially the third one. But in this movie, there's so much blood and gore, and they're not afraid to, go easy on the characters. And the thing that I truly admired about this movie, Scream 4, is that it paid a lot of homage to the other Scream films. And I know I've been comparing a lot of the other Scream films to the ones I've been doing. But it's hard to not do that because they are so connected in a way. And they are constantly talking about stuff that happened in the past films and stuff. And like I said, it does a good job at paying homage to the past films. It really does. And the other ones were, I believe, 96, 98 or 99, and I think 2001. And they're like 90s movies, those ones. And this one, it felt like in a lot of ways this was a 90s movie, and I absolutely loved that. Because there's not too much films nowadays that feel like a 90s film, you know what I mean? And yeah, I know this came out in 2011, but like I said, it feels like a 90s film. And let me just talk about the acting in this movie. They were all pretty good. Well, the original three were good as usual, but the other three of Hayden Panettiere, Emma Roberts, and Rory Culkin, they were all pretty good. Emma Roberts, at times, it felt like she was like a little teenage girl. But, I mean, Hayden Panettiere, she did an amazing job. Rory Culkin, super creepy. And Emma was good overall. I mean, she did a good job. And one more thing before I give out my grade. I was really thinking of giving this film like a C+ or a B-. But what changed my mind was the ending. This ending, I think, might have been my favorite ending out of all the Scream films. This ending was so satisfying. I loved it so much. Okay guys, now that is all the stuff I wanted to say about this movie, and I'm going to give this movie a B. Okay guys, now I did all the Scream movies in the series, and the reason why I did that so early on my channel is because this is my favorite horror franchise of all time. And I'll tell you why. These movies, pretty much all four of them, they're not bad at all. The third one was a little silly, but none of them were like bad. In a lot of horror franchises, they all have a couple movies that are not really that good at all. Like Friday the 13th, Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell gets silly. One of the other sequels or two of the other, they gets kind of silly. And same with the Halloween franchise, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A couple of them are just silly, and kind of bad. But in this franchise, they were all somewhat decent and fairly good. And if you guys like the series as much as I do, you probably searched up Scream 5 on YouTube and you kind of wanted to see what's up if they were ever going to do a Scream 5. And for me, I did. I did watch an interview with Neve Campbell. It's like a minute long. You guys can search it, or I'm going to put it in the description. But she talks about Scream 5, and she's saying that they might do it, but that was maybe, I think, like 2 years ago or so. And at the time, Wes Craven was alive. Rest in peace. So, I mean, I don't know if they would do a Scream 5. It's hard to tell. But it's just hard to say if it would be the right move of doing it or rebooting in like a decade from now or something. Because Wes Craven directed the past 4 Scream films, and it would just be hard to top the stuff that he did for these films. But, I mean, if they did make a 5th one, they brought back the original 3 cast, I wouldn't mind it. I would watch it in a heartbeat, just because I love them 3. But guys, that is going to conclude my Scream 4 movie, as long as doing the franchise Scream movies as well. Man, they're such good movies. If you guys haven't seen them, definitely check them out. And if you guys haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that way you can see me next time. Thanks for watching.